Paul Graham from OptimalBody.ca. Today I'll be answering the question, why do men lose weight quicker than women? So when I discuss these factors, it's important to understand I'm talking about average numbers. Obviously, there's going to be outliers that are different. So when I say, for example, if men are bigger, that's the average male is larger than the average female, but there's obviously individual differences. So the first big factor is that typically males have more lean body mass than females. This causes them to expend more energy when they're doing their day-to-day tasks, as well as when they're at rest. In addition to this, men are typically taller and larger. So this will also cause them to expend more energy with activities or at rest. The second factor is that, generally speaking, men tend to store visceral fat, which is fat around organs, easier, while females have an easier time storing subcutaneous fat. So this is body fat under the skin. Visceral fat is easier to lose than subcutaneous fat. So that is, the type of fat that men are more likely to store is easier to lose than the type of fat that women are more likely to store with subcutaneous. Obviously, both males and females will store subcutaneous fat and visceral fat. It's just that males are more likely to have a higher percentage of that fat being stored as visceral, while females will have a higher percentage of that fat being stored as subcutaneous. The next factor that makes men lose weight quicker is that women tend to have higher levels of ghrelin. This is a hormone that impacts hunger and satisfaction. So usually ghrelin increases as you're leading up to a meal, and after you eat it decreases. Women typically will have higher levels of ghrelin, which makes them more likely to eat more food. As well, they have less of a decrease in ghrelin after they've eaten. So they're more likely to want to eat food sooner. Women tend to have a larger decrease in energy expenditure in terms of resting metabolism as they age. So I've seen numbers where women are decreasing by an average of 143 calories per day for every decade that they age, while males are decreasing by 34 calories per day every decade. This will be very individual though, because it depends upon the amount of energy someone's expending due to activity. So if someone's maintaining a high level of activity, they're not going to see nearly as much of a decrease. And the second big factor is lean body mass again. So men tend to carry more lean body mass, so they see less of a decrease. If a female is doing lots of activities to help maintain lean body mass and things with their diet with protein, this cannot be nearly as big of a factor as well. The other factor, and I think this is from a practical standpoint, one of the biggest ones, is typically men are expending more energy. So it's easier for them to eat at an energy deficit. Let's say, for example, a male is burning out 2,800 calories a day. If he wanted to get into a 700 calorie energy deficit to lose weight, he would be decreasing his calories by about 25% or so. Let's say, on the other hand, a female was expending about 1,800 calories or 1,900 calories a day and wanted to get into that same 700 calorie energy deficit. They're going to have to decrease how much they're eating by about 35 to 40%, which is a much larger total. The higher percentage you're decreasing your food consumption by, the harder it is that's going to be to actually sustain and maintain following through on that diet, which will have a huge impact on the results you're getting. There you have a clear idea of some of the big factors that will cause men to lose weight quicker than women. However, what I want to stress is a lot of times people get caught up in feeling hopeless and like this means, oh, it's going to be so much harder for me. Try to instead focus your energy on thinking of these things as factors. So if you're concerned about lean body mass, make sure you're doing strength training, something that will help to maintain that lean body mass. Make sure you're getting adequate levels of protein, which in my experience, most females coming into us are getting very low levels of protein. Make sure you're getting enough fruits and vegetables so the fiber is going to help to keep you satisfied. All these things also impact how much ghrelin is going to be released, which was a factor we'd mentioned. So there's lots of things in your control if you understand these factors and try to use them to figure out your strategies for losing weight. So there's a lot of different reasons men lose weight quicker than women. Most of them are related to the amount of lean body mass men have and the impact that has on their energy expenditure. And there's a few other factors as well. A great book where I got a lot of this information from is called The Woman's Book by Lyle Mcdonald. So if you're looking to learn more, you can search out that book.